Hi, my name is Joe Dyer, and I want to thank Wizards of the Coast for 2 free preview cards for the upcoming Universes Beyond Fallout Commander decks. The 2 preview cards I'll be talking about today are part of the Hail Caesar deck featuring Caesar and Legion's Emperor, and Mr. House, President and CEO, as the face commanders. I am a huge fan of the Fallout franchise as a whole, and I'm absolutely excited to talk about not only these cards, but the lore aspects behind them. The first card I'll be discussing is a brand new card, and the second card is a reprint. With that said, let's get started. War. War never changes. In the year 2077, after a millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. Little did most of the vault population know, but many of these shelters were merely experiments that had been enacted by the corporation Vault-Tec as a part of a program developed by the Enclave, the remnants of the United States government. Such was the case with Vault 75. Located underneath Malden Middle School in the Commonwealth, the official public message about the vault was that it was intended to be a safe place for children in the school to shelter in the event of nuclear war. To that end, Vault-Tec offered a subsidized admittance to families seeking a place in the vault. When the bombs did fall in 2077, every designated family with a student attending the school, in addition to the teachers, made it into the vault on time. However, upon entrance, the children were quickly separated from their families, while the adults were executed by vault security staff under the guise that they were going to orientation. Vault 75's sinister purpose here was to experiment on the refinement of human genetics, utilizing methods such as selective breeding, genetic modification, and hormonal treatments. The children of the vault were raised under the false pretenses about a horrific world called Uptop Land, and told that they would be the ones that would be strong enough to venture out and help others after they graduated. Unfortunately, this was farther from the truth. Those who turned 18 and had strong genes were harvested for their good genes, utilizing their genetic material to in turn try to create a superior being to save the wasteland. Those who were considered fair and susceptible were recruited into the Vault's science team to continue the experiment, while those who were deemed insufficient were simply executed and their bodies incinerated after hosting a graduation ceremony for the individual. As of the events of Fallout 4, the Vault had been opened. Some of the log entries in the Vault's internal system indicated that there had been a possible rebellion amongst the test subjects, which was aided by a graduate student. By 2287, there were no original residents remaining, and the Vault served as a gunner's stronghold. The card Vault 75 Middle School offers a perfect representation of flavor in what occurred in this vault and its story. In the first chapter, all the creatures with power 4 or greater are exiled, perfectly capturing the fact that the adults entering the vault were removed from the equation. In chapters 2 and 3, all of the remaining creatures on your battlefield get a little stronger, representing the vault's experimentation with genetics. This is a great example of a card that really understands the lore behind Fallout in general, and especially the lore of the vaults. I love vaults, and especially enjoy the deep lore behind them. The second preview card is a reprint of the card Generals Enforcers, originally seen in Ikoria. The art in this card depicts a ranger belonging to the NCR. The NCR, otherwise known as the New California Republic, was a post-war federal republic that was founded in the year 2189 in New California. The NCR considers itself an inheritor to pre-war values of democracy, personal liberty, and the rule of law. They're highly expansionist and imperialist in nature as they undertake colonization efforts into neighboring regions with the intent on civilizing those regions. The NCR has been featured in a number of different Fallout games, but they were primarily featured in Fallout New Vegas as one of the main faction choices of the game. The NCR is seen in this game in a power struggle with the forces of Caesar's Legion over the resources presented by Hoover Dam. The NCR is locked in a stalemate with the Legion over the dam, and it is up to the Courier to decide their fate. By the end of Fallout New Vegas, the NCR is unfortunately overstretched and weighed down by bureaucracy, making it incapable of properly managing the Mojave and its resources. Couple this with the fact that many of NCR citizens were leaving NCR territory for the Mojave Wasteland, thus dwindling their own population back home. From an abstract sense, General Enforcers is a great card to showcase the NCR Rangers, which are a volunteer special forces unit specializing in recon and combat prowess. They often work as bodyguards for important figures within the NCR's government structure, so the flavor of granting all legendary humans indestructible is pretty spot on. As a Fallout fan, I am really excited to see how these decks approach the overall tone and flavor of the universe, and so far it looks like they're doing a great job of it. I want to thank again Wizards of the Coast for these free preview cards, and thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and comment below, and have a great day, and we'll see you out in the wasteland.